Welcome on in to another edition of Fourth and Forever. Sorry for our tardiness. Teeny was late yet again, so we are live talking some ball. We got Dose of Vogues on with us. So
I didn't even know it said that. Y'all didn't say anything. That's crazy. My bad.
So
That's
Dan
crazy.
Mitchell is on the road today. So we got our great friend Troy, who has been a great fill-in from Fourth and Forever. You guys know him, our Detroit Lions creator for the NFC North Roundtable. Welcome to the show, Dose of Vogues. How you doing, man?
There we go. Man, I'm happy to be here. I tell you guys, I listen to this show all the time. Usually I'm driving during this time. So I put it on. My Bluetooth thing is kind of whack, so I actually have to unplug the Bluetooth. But I listen to this, man. This is the show. It's my go-to. I'm always looking for a show in the afternoon. And look, man, y'all are getting like consistency. I see with the viewers, like you guys got you guys got it, man. You got the same people in the chat all the time. It's great. I love it.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to expand on that. Like from your perspective, because I get that when I usually drive in the mornings and I have my usual sports talk show that I listen to in the radio, WFAN, like just New York sports. And I love listening. So like you get in your car and you just throw us on, like it's a routine. That's what we want to build. So it's kind of cool.
It's perfect, Richie. It's an hour drive for me. It's essentially an hour drive. So as soon as it starts, I basically get there. But the thing is, where I'm living too, I don't get like local Detroit news. So I don't really have anything. So I go right to this. And as soon as I get there, this thing basically ends. So it's perfect.
Wow. We really are perfect. How does that feel, TD, that we're filling in on a daily routine for Dose of Dion's traveling?
Look at that.
Let's go. No, we blessed to have Dose here. Listen, man, I'm excited about today's show because I definitely want to, ask a real life question about the Lions, Dion, especially all that capping you did in the comment section yesterday. So we got you here. Maybe you can explain to us how y'all gonna fix this mess of a Detroit Lions team right now, losing both coordinators, losing your all-pro center, and just really, I think, 5-win team maybe this year. But maybe you can explain to us.
Well, we're definitely going to go deep into the Detroit Lions. Don't you worry about that, TD. Tony says this is for Bob. So, Troy, you're going to have to pretend to hit Bob because you're filling in for Dan. Do you have anything behind you, like one of those stick figures or something you can like flick in the head or something?
Maybe one of these. Maybe a little Knuckles.
Yeah. Is that Knuckles?
Yeah.
All right, you got to hit Knuckles. But I kind of like Knuckles. I don't want him to get. Oh. See. But now that it's Knuckles, bro, he's gonna punch you back. If Knuckles punches you back, you're done.
Bob out here got other people getting abused now, man. Tony, you ain't right.
Damn, bro. All right, Knuckles is now the new punching bag for a Dose of Dion. Man, you know who I got? Who I'll never punch.
This cat.
This is the best mascot in any sport, and I mean that. Mr. Met.
Need to burn that,
he is the best mascot, bro. You'll never get a punch from me, man. This is my childhood. I sleep with this every night, TD, like this, especially after last night. Beating the Dodge. I do not sleep with Mr. Met. Okay,
I don't know. Clip it, y'all. He sleep with I'm clipping it, Richie.
It's a joke, bro. It's that absolute joke. Only when the Mets win, maybe. Pete Alonso, 2 home runs yesterday, baby. We beat the Dodgers. Where are you at, TD? You talk trash about the Mets only when they lose, but when we're on top of the world, you never bring up anything. But let's get into some football talk because OTAs is wrapping up for the Jets today. Mini camp is coming up, and OTAs is wrapping up around the league. So I wanted to get all your guys' thoughts. But before we do, we did have some breaking news come out, which we definitely have to talk about within this league, and that is Mr. Anthony Richardson, man. What's your guys' thoughts? Because he is done all the way up until training camp dealing with a injury to his shoulder. Now, a big thing about this that I'm going to say right away is this is Daniel Jones's time. This is Daniel Jones' opportunity. So what's your thoughts of seeing this news, TD, that Anthony Richardson is dealing with an injury and is going to be expected to be out?
Man, he's blowing a huge opportunity because you let Daniel Jones get some look and they get more of a feel of his play. And you go into training camp, and first of all, we don't even know in training camp if that shoulder will be all right. but you're basically opening the door for stiffer competition. It was already going to be competition, but you were given the keys. You're given the opportunity to show that you're the guy. But now that I believe that you're opening it up to make it a legitimate competition, because you're allowing the guy that's supposed to be behind you to actually get the coaches to get an even better look. So I would say this: Danny Dimes better take advantage of this. First of all, second of all, Anthony Richardson, man, these injuries are starting to make you look a little bit, not a little bit, but more on we can't rely on this guy's side. And it's a shoulder injury. And obviously it's probably the throwing shoulder. That's, you don't know how long that's going to linger or if it's going to pop back up. What's really going on with it? We also heard something about CJ Stroud with this. These are not good when you hear guys having shoulder injuries in the summer. I feel bad for the kid because his career might be slipping away right in front of our eyes.
100% agree. And I think Daniel Jones is going to get his opportunity with this team. I mean, right away. I think that he's going to steal a job even to the point where Richardson's healthy. It's going to be too late. This is Daniel Jones' a starting gig. What's your thoughts, Troy, of this news? And do you expect Anthony Richardson to come back and steal a job over Daniel Jones when he comes back? Like, who do you got as your early QB1 for this team?
When I saw this news, I immediately thought of Dan because I think Dan was like the guy pushing that Daniel Jones was going to cook this year. So when I saw this, like, oh, man, he might be onto something. Anthony Richardson is weird because I think what TD said is last year, I don't know if he had shoulder injuries last year, but he was banged up last year too. And then, I mean, I guess to add on to like, you know, I mean, this guy sat out because he needed a breather last year. We had that happen. And then he got benched after that for a couple of games. He's weird because I liked him a lot out of the draft. He really had 2 games last year that were pretty horrible. I mean, he had 2 games. He doesn't complete passes consistently, which is a problem. I don't know. Because I don't buy into Daniel Jones that much either. You know, it's one of those things where it's like they're both athletic. They're both going to try to move. So maybe health is the thing that separates the two, right? I think Tyler Warren was the perfect pick for him because I think they're just going to try to get him on the move a ton. But maybe it is just the health. If I had to bet right now, I still believe that Richardson would get the nod first. And I think it'd be more likely that Daniel Jones would take over and they wouldn't look back. Because I almost feel like if you come in with Daniel Jones, it's going to be hard to then come back to Richardson. I almost feel like you go with Richardson. It doesn't look great still. You go with Daniel Jones and you know you're moving on.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out with the Indianapolis Colts. Definitely the latest news coming out. Now we have some other news that I wanted to talk about when it comes into the NFC East division. Terry McLaurin has made it clear that he is frustrated with the lack of progress on a long-term contract, and he left voluntary OTAs after initially attending. McLaurin is entering the final year of his contract. Do you think they get a deal done before the season starts? I definitely think so. I think that the one thing about McLaurin that I appreciate is his loyalty to that organization. But are the Washington Commanders going to take care of him now that they're at this situation where they're at with all these players they're adding and their cap situation? So, TD, what's your thoughts? Do you think that they're going to come to an agreement before the season, or he's going to play on his last year of his deal?
They'll come to an agreement. They're saving money on a quarterback that's on a rookie deal, and this is their window. You got the kid balling out. You got to do all you can to load up around him. Terry McLaurin is going to be a huge part of the overall success of the Commanders. Commanders made it to the freaking NFC championship game last year. This ain't a time to play games and slow down. You got to push forward, foot on the gas, and he's worth it. So they'll get it done. They'll figure it out. They'll find a way to make it happen. It's not like they don't have the flexibility. Once again, you got a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. Take advantage of it now. You start his contract now, it won't hurt you by the time Jaden Daniels got to get paid. So yeah, of course he's frustrated, and he should be. But that's a part of the game. You know, they're going to try all they can to stall it out and save as much money as they can. But they know that he's going to be a huge, piece of the success. So they will, I believe they'll get it done because they need to. You don't, like I said, you don't turn around and go backwards from here. And they made a lot of moves in the offseason. They already went to the NFC Championship game, had a huge draft and a huge free agency. So this team is primed to be a contender as long as you don't get a sophomore slump from the quarterback, and you're going to need Terry to do that.
Your thoughts, Troy, about this situation? Are they going to get the job done They got some new weapons already added this offseason. Are they going to not prioritize their homegrown talent that's been with them for years? What's your thoughts?
Did y'all know Terry McLaurin's 30? Like, I always picture him as like a 25-year-old. So I know he was 30. This team's old. The Commanders are old, and they have Debo in. And Debo's actually younger than Terry. That threw me off, too. They're both on the last year of their contracts. I don't know why, looking at the age of this team, just across the board, he wouldn't get a long-term deal. It's like most of these guys I would feel like they're going to be moving forward off of anyways.
The last one.
It would have to be just age concern. I mean, that would be the only reason that you would be like, I don't know if I want to go that far, because like, oh, you're about to be 33 once you get to that third year. But to me, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, receiver wise, after this year, who's on their team? I think he gets the long-term deal. And I think what TD says is right. Like, they got the money to do it right now, not paying their quarterback.
Yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, go on.
You know, this kid been in the league with the Commanders for 6 years now, and he's had over 1,000 yards every season except his rookie year. He had 919 in his rookie year. He has to get paid. Now, I am shocked that he is 30 after only 6 years in the league. So he must have went through his college career, went through, and came out a little late, like at an older age. But here's the deal, though. The kid had 13 touchdowns last year. Let me stop saying kid. He's 30. He had 13 touchdowns last year. 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. It's time for him to get his payday. And I think that they need to figure out a way, because here's another thing to consider. It's not like he's slowing down at 30. You look at him and you think, hey, he at least got 3 more years of prime play in him before that breakdown. And all the contracts are going to be long-term, and the guaranteed money is only going to be about 2.5 to 3 years anyway. So go ahead and lock him in, give him a 4-year deal, give him some real receiver money, and congratulate him for the hard work he's put into this organization for years, even when you didn't have anything. It's not his fault you weren't competitive, but he kept on putting up 1,000 yards to help. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. And we got a super chat coming on in from Patriots 12. 0 rings, Bills forever. Go Pats. Well, there's no Buffalo Bills creator to go this at, as Dan is not here. But, man, those Buffalo Bills are ringless. So are the Lions, you know?
No, we're not ringless. we got rings and stuff. We don't need to talk about that. We got them. We got them. We just don't talk about them. You know, we're humble, Richie. We don't talk about all the
humble.
Yeah. We just, you know what I mean? We just get it done in the background.
Yeah. All right. True. I guess so. Appreciate the super chat, Patriots 12. Folks, we're live on 4th and Forever. Dose of Dion 2.0, filling in for Dan Mitchell here live on our daily NFL show. Do us a favor, simply like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're new. What are you laughing at, Troy?
I don't know what Humble and Kyan's talking about. Like, just because there's 1939, it doesn't mean the same. Like, this is the thing that throws crazy, man. Crazy.
Was it 1939?
No, 34. We had one in 34.
That don't count. That wasn't even in the NFL.
That's crazy. TD, you go tell all those people that. Take that ring off their hand, TD. No, we got one like 57 or something. You know what I mean? We got 57, 53. We actually were the kings of the 50s. That's what they used to say. They were like, oh, yeah, man, they own the 50s. We had to pull back a little bit. They were like,
I ain't gonna lie, though. I ain't gonna lie, those. Not having a Super Bowl is probably better than that.
No, that's crazy.
No, like, how long the Bills been in the league?
300 years.
Like, but not having a Super Bowl is probably better than having had one since the 50s, bro. Man, like, I thought it was bad for the Dolphins talking about 72, but man, 50s.
It's 15 years, TD. 15 years.
15.
That's it. 15 years in between. We basically won, and then you guys won.
Man, the NFL, y'all won by. Like, if there was ever a script, y'all should have came up in it by now. Like, man,
that's what I would say, if they're gonna fix it, at some point we got to get one.
All right, well, that's a perfect segue, because Troy, I know you watch this show, so I don't need to tell you, but it feels like I'm the only one on this show and in the comment section that still believes in the Lions, despite of all the stuff that's going on. Because I'm shocked that everyone, and this is a good feeling for a Jets fan, because I guess Aaron Glenn didn't mean that much. Now that Glenn's gone, everyone's like, the Lions are in shambles. I think that's why they're thinking that. I don't know. But, TD, I want to get you to remind Troy your thoughts of the Lions this year, because you think they're done. You think that they lost their window. They're not going to be the Lions we saw the last 2 years. So why don't you tell Troy to his face what you feel about the Lions so he can clap back and tell him why you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect the Lions and troll them and say 5 wins. That's a joke, okay? But 8 is in their future. It's over for them. 2 coordinators gone. They don't even know what these new coordinators going to do. They're going to try to bring their own little rhythm and spark. Dan Campbell going to have to get on them. And the center, man, Jared Goff is not good when he's under pressure. He's not good. Mm-hmm. And it's over. See, that was the soul of the O-line. And you just took it away. And now that internal pressure right up the middle, Jared Goff can't run right or left too much. Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for the offense. Now, defense, you would hope that the defense, but Aaron Glenn gone. I don't know what they expect from the new DC. I ain't going to sit here and make just give them the benefit of the doubt. No. See, I just think the Lions are in trouble. Green Bay will be better. Vikings will be better. And the Bears pass them up.
So I think DJ Reed is going to be a stud for you guys. I really do. I think that's going to be a big addition to your defense.
The Lions got DJ Reed?
Yeah, that's what you want.
Still 8 wins.
But I think when it comes to the Lions, man, I'm not going to forget about what the Eagles did. Everyone counted them out when their coordinators got plucked away, and the Lions are in that same situation. So, Troy, what's your rebuttal over there to that delusional fan over there? TD.
No, I got a question for TD, just because I want to know where he's coming from. So, is there a way, say any team, best team in football, loses both coordinators? What can they do during the offseason to make you feel like, okay, they're not going to take a step back? What would be the approach?
They have to replace them with elite coordinators.
Okay, how do we know
like the Eagles did? We already knew what Fangio was.
Got you.
We already knew what these guys were with the Eagles, so we knew that they were going to hit the ground running. But did the Lions do that? Who's your coordinator?
No, that's why I want to ask you. So what happened the year before though with Philly?
Didn't
they
Philly
had to replace both coordinators, and they got bounced round 1.
Yeah,
the year before that.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my only thing, TD. Here's how I look at it, because I hear what you're saying, and I think you're right. You got to find big time coordinators. But so I went back to 2021, TD, and I encourage anybody to do this. So any team, so let's say you take a coordinator, he becomes a head coach. Go look through those years and tell me how many guys you say the next guy in was successful. It's hard to find it. Most of the time it's a fail. But I found no correlation between proven success, promoting a guy. See, a lot of people think like, oh, we stay in house, we're going to stay the same identity, we're the same kind of style. Hey, we stay in house, we want it to look the same, promote that dude. But I found no correlation to any kind of success, TD. You know what I found correlation on, TD?
Talk to me.
The head coach. If you no. If you look at every team that's had to replace a coordinator that became a head coach in 2021, and you look at all the teams that you'd say that worked, or at least are still there, you would be like, you could guess the teams, because you'd say that team, I know who they are. I know what that culture is. And the teams that don't, you could guess those too. The teams that you don't know who they are, that they're trying to find an identity. Go ahead, TD. I'm going to go back to Philly. Go ahead.
Question for you, Dion, on your point. Okay. How long was Aaron Glenn with the Lions?
Since 2021.
All right.
Came here year 1.
What was your record? What was your record in 2021?
We were 3-13-1, and he was a DB coach from New Orleans. No DC experience.
Yep.
No
First year, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next year, what was the record?
9-8.
9-8. Around that 8-win mark, right?
Pretty good.
It's solid.
Yeah, but add context to that season. Didn't you guys start 1-6?
Yeah, we were 1-6.
The second half you went off.
Fine. Yeah, they started to go off, right? See, you want to talk about the consistent as the head coach. That's what you found correlation in.
Yeah.
The Lions didn't start having success until those coordinators start building. What was Dan Campbell when he first got there? Was it immediate? Was it right away? Yeah. But no, y'all struggle.
There's a roster, though, TD. There's a roster, though, TD.
I understand that. All I'm saying, I can't say the head coach is the correlation. He struggled at first. and then y'all got the coordinators, and then y'all built a little, and bam, it start clicking. I don't think that this is a case of just the head coach and Dan Campbell. I think those three coordinators combined built something up. But when you talk about Dan Campbell, he didn't do it alone. He didn't do it alone.
So you think it's more like, hey, the coaches, because they were here for 4 years, they eventually got it.
Together, working together, eventually built it up.
Not though the fact that, hey, the team also got a lot better. I'll give you a stat, TD.
Of 2021 got better from a personnel standpoint.
I will give you a number just to give you context. 2021, the Lions set the record for dead cap.
Mm-hmm.
They set the record for dead cap. Look at the 2021 roster. They spent no money. No money. So the team was bad. And I'll also tell you this, TD, because here's where people forget about Dan Campbell. You think Kyle Shanahan, we think all these gurus. You're like, oh, hey, Sean McVay. These are the teams that have made it work. Matt LaFleur. You know, Dan Campbell called plays in 2021 before he hired Ben Johnson.
Okay.
And the Lions got better when Dan Campbell called plays. And then he found Ben Johnson. But Ben Johnson didn't come in as the OC. He hired a different OC in 2021. He promoted a guy from within to become the OC the next year after he fired his proven OC, Anthony Lynn, that he hired in 2021. So 2022, he said, hey, who's this random guy? We don't know who he is. I'll make him the OC.
Who called plays the last 2 years?
Ben Johnson.
Okay. You ain't never been better on offense.
Yeah, but exactly.
It was the coordinators.
All right. Well, John Moore was there too. He's our OC now. What are we talking about?
Don't give me a comparison of, this bad player used to be here. This bad player used to be here, and now all of a player.
You just said it was the O-line.
No. I said that's going to take you down too. But what I'm saying is, what you're trying to do is give me this comparison on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. We used to have a 2 coach.
No, we didn't.
Dan Campbell started calling plays. We were a 5. Yeah, it was better.
No.
When you hired the OC, now you're an 8, 9.
That's because all I'm saying, TD, this is all I'm saying. Dan Campbell has a feel for it, right? Because think about this. You won 3 games, right?
You won 3 games this year. He's calling plays.
No. I want no, because that's not his role.
Oh,
he's not like Mike McDaniel. We like to win games, TD. He got to delegate.
Ooh. See what I'm talking about? Got him.
Y'all winning 7 games now.
That's
you went from 8 to 7.
I don't know, man. He's kind of cooking you when you get a Lions savant like Troy coming on here. It makes TD sound like an idiot. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Disrespect to McDaniel. That's all right.
Can I get,
so you wouldn't take McDaniel as your OC right now?
No.
He's your head coach, TD, not your OC.
TD, let me give you something on that's crazy that I found. You know, San Fran's offense got better the year that he left?
Because they had more than they ever had.
Oh, they had better players.
Oh,
they had better players.
That just fed right into Troy's point.
No, it's not right into his palm because all other elements remained the same, so it don't make a difference. It made a difference only from the personnel.
No, you changed OC.
But in this case, we're talking about coaching.
Yeah, San Francisco had Mike McDaniel, and their offense was one spot. He leaves, offense gets better. Mm-hmm. Was it Mike McDaniel or was it the team got better?
Mike McDaniel left the blueprint. With better talent.
And I agree with that. So the blueprint's everything. We still have a blueprint, TD.
Oh my God. These new OCs ain't coming in.
You keep walking into.
No, y'all don't have the blueprint. Why? Your OCs are gone and they didn't have any.
No, but y'all don't have who set the blueprint, TD? Dan Campbell, who hired Ben Johnson didn't come in as a proven OC. Ben Johnson came in as, who is this guy? He coached tight ends.
Wow. So you think that he carried on
I think
Dan Campbell's blueprint, or he brought his own identity to the offense?
I give you a great example. You know this firsthand. Dan Campbell became your interim head coach in 2015, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did he do during that season when the team didn't run the ball enough?
Win. I mean,
the one season that he was there, he fired your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And why did he do that? Because he knows how he wants it to look.
I get it, but what I'm saying to you is Dan Campbell is a good leader.
Yeah.
Head coach from a management standpoint. But let's not sit here and act like he dialing up the game plan.
No, he doesn't need to.
I know he's doing his job, which is being the head coach and allowing and coaching through those guys. But
so you don't think Dan? You don't think TD that you don't think that Dan Campbell's capable of coaching up his new coordinators to fulfill the destiny of winning football games?
No, coaching. No, yes, but in this regard, coaching them up to lead what they want to bring to the table. And if it fails, I'll find somebody else. He's a no nonsense about business. But let's not sit here and act like he's the guru in X's and O's now.
But what
have to be?
He is a great head coach, as he should be.
Hold up, let me give you one. Can I give you another example?
It does become a requirement.
Sean McDermott. Is he an offensive guru?
No.
Okay.
I'm with you. He doesn't have to be.
Follow me.
But my point of it is, you're at the mercy of hoping that these coordinators have the right game plan.
Absolutely.
He's going to fire them if they don't, which a head coach supposed to do, but you're still at the mercy of some new guys.
Absolutely. And I'd say that it's hard to find good coaches. All I'm saying is, if you look at Sean McDermott, nobody thinks he's an offensive guru. But then tell me how he switches his offensive coordinator.
Josh Allen bailing him out every year.
I mean, but tell me this. How did Brian Daboll leave and they stayed the same?
Because he got Josh Allen bailing them out.
Okay, so then when he hired Ken Dorsey and then he fires Ken Dorsey, they bring in a different OC. Everybody says, oh, they're running the ball more. Bill's offense gets better. Whose idea was that? The offensive coordinator that was gone, or was that Sean McDermott?
Josh Allen.
No, it wasn't Josh Allen.
That's the only run the ball, bro.
I don't want the ball. Nah,
man. Now they did have a healthier dose of running the football. I will say that.
That was McDermott.
But it's Josh Allen that's happening. Y'all don't have a Josh Allen.
We don't need a Josh Allen.
Y'all don't have a Josh Allen.
Put the stats up. Put the stats up, Richie. Put the stats up. Put the stats
up. Wait.
I don't know.
Didn't y'all play the Bills?
Yeah, we played the Bills.
What happened?
We lost 42-48.
Bums.
See, this is where
we didn't have a defense.
Y'all couldn't beat them bums.
This is where I feel like I have to get involved. Want to know why? Because the way that TD's talking down the Lions, like the Dolphins are. The Lions are everything the Dolphins wish they were.
I ain't even mentioned my team, and you a hater, Richie. That's all.
I know, but like, let's bring it.
You know what? Richie,
I want to get thoughts of your team.
I'm glad you brought that up because I guarantee the Dolphins are better than the Lions and the Jets this year.
Clip it. Somebody in the chat. Clip it. All right, June 5th.
No, TD, you don't guarantee it. TD, you want to sell the team. What are you talking about?
I want to sell
the
team.
You want to trade Jonnu. You want to
Listen. As long as we keep the people we got now, we'll be better than y'all. Because y'all on the decline. The Jets ain't even got a quarterback.
Offensive line looking like, TD? How's your offensive line looking? How's that offensive line looking over there?
Better.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Patrick Paul, you cooking?
He might. Second year, that leap.
Got you.
We got Jonah in the first.
Would you rather? Is Tua better than Goff?
Huh?
Is Tua better than Goff?
Depends.
I'm just asking you.
Depends on what?
Depends. No, he not.
There no depends.
Barely.
So
he's
not. Our offensive line is still better than yours, though, right?
No, y'all just lost your man. No, you don't.
You have one lineman who's a little bit above average.
We have Austin Jackson on the right,
alone.
Patrick Paul on the left, Jonah, who we drafted in the second round,
like second round.
And Jonah good. I didn't love Jonah. Huh?
I didn't love Jonah.
And stop the cap. Jonah on the left. You captain.
No, but TD, I'm saying when you're saying
center, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
We get Decker and Sewell. You get Patrick Paul and Austin Jackson at tackle. We both go rookies on the interior. What's the difference?
No.
Yeah. Tate, Jonah.
No, we'll be fine. Our O-line will be good. Our weapons are better than y'all's.
Are they?
Yeah.
Is Tyreek playing?
Yeah, he playing. Yeah.
Ain't no playing.
And Waddle balling in those games.
Waddle ain't better than St. Brown, TD.
Waddle, yes, he is.
All right,
yes,
pull the stats.
Yeah. Because your main guy is St. Brown better than Tyreek?
No, but Tyreek.
All right, then.
I do have a J-Mo over Tyreek shirt though, so we can just pull that out. TD, you might have one.
I bet you do. Our running game is gonna be better.
Than what?
Than y'all's. We got a better running back.
A-Chan over Gibbs.
That's right. You see A-Chain number one projected fantasy. You saw it come out. A-Chain is the #1 running back in projected fantasy this year.
That's because Tua can't throw the ball downfield.
Hey, however you want to slice it, our offense is going to be better than y'all's. We got the better tight end because we're going to get
John. You know how many points we
scored?
You're
not have the best tight end.
Better than theirs.
Laporta?
Yeah, John. What did Laporta? Did Laporta go to the Pro Bowl last year?
Oh,
yeah,
Pro Bowl
yards rookie year, TD.
Pro Bowl's how we look at this now.
But for 1,000 his rookie year.
I'm just saying.
Year, TD. Has John had 1,000 yards in his career?
He don't have to. We got too many weapons. We got too much on the run game. He did his job.
Now you said you fed him last year. Y'all fed him last year.
Our offense will be better than y'all.
We don't even feed Laporta.
We got Ollie Gordon. You know what time it is. Don't act like y'all don't know. Jalen Wright. We straight.
Yeah, y'all got some speed, man. Y'all got some speed.
See, you taking up all. How did this even get to
I
the
didn't
Dolphins?
do this. I wasn't
even talking about Richie.
Richie did this. Richie did bring up the Dolphins.
Well, yeah, I wanted to get Troy's thoughts of the Dolphins. That's why I brought it up.
Why, Richie? What about Troy's thoughts of the Jets without a quarterback?
That was next.
Yeah.
Why are you saying without a quarterback? We do have a quarterback.
Don't have one. No, you don't.
No, we do. He's on the field.
Tyrod. What's his name? Who y'all got?
Someone that's going to be better than Tua this year.
The Steelers got better quarterbacks than y'all right now.
Oh, that's pure.
They ain't even got the quarterback.
That's just pure hate.
Skylar Thompson better than Fields.
Skylar Thompson.
Justin Fields is about to prove the world wrong this year, man. Okay, let's get Troy's thoughts about those New York Jets, because there's a lot of Lions within the Jets. Tanner Engstrand, the new Jets offensive coordinator, coming from the Detroit Lions. Pass game coordinator, was responsible to organizing the plays, structuring the passing plays. He's also known for getting everybody involved, helping Ben Johnson, his right-hand man. And then Aaron Glenn is really focusing on the offense more than anything early on in OTAs. And my favorite thing about Aaron Glenn so far, Troy, that I've learned, and let me just correct something in the chat before I keep going. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh did not let Fields go, John. They tried to get him back and failed. Fields wanted to leave the Steelers and come to the Jets. So don't get that twisted. The Pittsburgh Steelers wanted him back, offered him a contract, but Fields decided to pick the Jets over the Steelers. That's the facts. And that's proven. So go look it up. Go fact check me. But the cool thing about this team so far, Troy, is the philosophy of Aaron Glenn of just not messing around. He's so real. I've never had a coach like this. I'm used to having Saleh, where it's like, yeah, everything's good. You're all great. No, Coach Glenn is telling everybody where they got to improve on, all that stuff. So what's your thoughts of the Jets so far from afar, from your perspective, of them trying to replicate what the Detroit Lions did in their own way?
Quick question. I want to make sure I have this right. You guys have the same, you guys like retained your defensive coordinator? Is that right?
No, brand new defensive coordinator. We got Steve Wilkes.
Oh, okay. It's Wilkes. Okay. That's why. He was last place he was successful. He was a recent name. Anyway.
Yeah, he was the interim head coach for the Panthers. He was the 49ers defensive coordinator.
Got you. Okay.
For a little bit.
I mean, look, man. First off, I'll say this, Richie. I love the offensive line. I think y'all are winning 15 games, if I'm being real. You know what I mean? Like,
all right, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Oh,
wow.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh. Tell me how you really feel.
Dion, come on, bro.
Yeah, y'all. If you traded for AOC, you might win 16. But you guys are in a good spot right now, man. You know what I mean? No, I mean, look. I like the offensive line. I feel like at least y'all got a vision of where it's going. I like to hear Glenn's involved in the offense. Because, see, TD, here's the thing, right? Glenn ain't out there to call plays. He's out here to coach the team.
Oh, when that defense getting torched by 40, he going to be calling plays.
Did you like the Jets, like the draft behind the scenes? Did that get you fired up, or was that a little awkward?
You mean like the phone calls and stuff?
Yeah. How'd you feel about that? Like, was anything stand out to you there?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was. I think it was a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I definitely liked what I saw from Aaron Glenn. And I mean, you hear his phone call at Azaria Thomas. You know what he said to him?
Hey,
I want you to go and choke him out at the line of scrimmage. He's right away, bro. I've never seen a coach do that before because they drafted Azaria Thomas to go be a press man corner. And he's like, yeah, we love what you do. Go choke him out. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what they're about.
See, I felt like watching that, the head coach wasn't like overly involved. But I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, but it felt like he was kind of in the back. Like he was sitting in the back, right? Like he was kind of just letting him do his job. And he was gonna, he was gonna go from there. But it didn't feel like he was making the calls, you know what I mean? Because you guys have the same GM, don't you?
No, different GM.
Who's the GM?
Everything's new. His name's Darren Muji. He's from the Broncos. He was their assistant GM.
Okay.
Ooh, so we have everything's new here with the Jets. New GM, new head coach, new quarterback. Everything's fresh. Brand new coaching staff on offense and defense.
Seven wins.
You know, Denver played most man in football last year. The Lions were second. That's the perfect guy to have drafted for you.
Hey, man, look at you know what else about this team? We're super young. I mean, I would argue the youngest team in the league. I don't know if it's out yet, but we have 3 players in their 30s. One of them is Tyrod Taylor, backup quarterback. The other ones are long snapper. The only other player in their 30s is Josh Reynolds. You know Josh Reynolds?
Yeah, I love Josh Reynolds. I love Josh Reynolds.
Do you? Why?
Man,
because he's looking pretty good early.
The thought was we were going to bring him back when he initially left, and it was basically put out the Lions had an offer for him. He just didn't do it. He didn't come back. So I always like Josh. Josh was perfect because he came in his first year with Goff. He came in halfway through the season. Maybe it was year 2, but he came in halfway through the season and immediately cooked. Yeah, like 350 yards second half season. We couldn't pass the ball that year. Like we actually had 0 receivers that year. He was cheap, so we were able to sign him halfway through the year, and he cooked immediately. And then he got an extension on top of that. I thought he was just super smart. That was the big thing with Josh, just smart. Wasn't gonna do much with the ball in his hands. He's a smart player. You know what I mean? He'd be where he's supposed to be, catch some tough passes, probably about 600 yards.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love Josh.
Yeah. So
what about Corley? Is Corley cooking? I want to get something from Corley. Yeah,
Corley's actually hurt right now, and Aaron Glenn talked to the media about him, and he has some interesting things to say about Malachi Corley. You like Malachi Corley, it seems, huh?
I know TD does too. Malachi Corley. Hey, man, outside of the play where he did have the ball and then he didn't have the ball, outside of that play, he was awesome in college. I loved him in college. That dude was like a running back. He looked like a running back all the time.
Yeah. So this is Glenn on Malachi Corley, since you're asking.
Malachi Corley is obviously working through something now. But there wasn't a lot of film on him last year. So what are your overall thoughts on him as a player and what he needs to work on, and maybe a role?
Here's what I remember from Corley is his ability to get the ball in his hands and make something happen. And when you have a player like that, the first thing you think about is screens. You think about punt return, kick return. You think about things like that. And now we have a ways to go to really try to figure out exactly where we're going to place him because he's been in and out, and that's just what it is. But there's a plan for him, and we're going to make sure that we try to utilize him to what he can do best. And we've seen that in college, and hopefully he gets well soon when we get a chance to utilize his skill set.
So there's a plan, but he's in and out of the lineup.
Gotta get him the ball, man. Put about
screen passes, and all that. We got an open competition at number 2 receiver, man.
7 wins.
Hey,
I mean, that's such a lazy analysis. Like, give us a reason,
A reason for 7 wins?
That's an improvement from last year, though.
You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a number 2 receiver.
How do you know?
Your secondary is overrated.
No.
So, okay.
Wait, TD, just because I have the opportunity I'm on here, you need to start showing Iffy Melifonwu some love. TD, I feel sad every time. It's like
he ain't did nothing for us yet.
Yeah, but he did something before he got there. I'm telling you, as long as he's on the field, TD, Richie, they signed Ashton Davis too. I don't know how much you like Ashton Davis. He's
the only one on our team that knew how to get interceptions.
Okay, I'm telling you, TD, as long as he's healthy, he's getting a long-term deal there.
As long as he's healthy. Tua on the field more than him.
Yeah, but he better than Tua. I'm not even playing TD. TD, how's he supposed to play with Brian Branch and Kirby in front of him?
You said, oh my God. How old is Iffy?
He's young. He just came off his rookie deal. Probably 26.
Listen, well, we sure hope that he blossoms. Y'all backup turns into our starter.
He can start, man. He can start. I'm trying to give you some positivity.
But he didn't start.
He did at times. He's actually a corner.
Injuries happened. He started.
Well, he's actually a corner, and then it took like 2 years, and they put him at safety.
Why is that?
Because he was hurt during the offseason. But they told us after year 1, they said, hey, we're moving him to safety. It just took a long time.
Why is that, though? Which is more
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. He's always good at corner.
So you think that he's a better corner than safety?
No, I think now he's a better safety. He's really good at safety, TD, when he's out there. He's big too, man. He's like 6'3". He's a big dude. You got your Kyle Hamilton right there.
In other words, he couldn't cut it at corner. So
I didn't understand it because we didn't have corners when we moved him, so it threw me off. I thought
it ain't like he proved anything for y'all when y'all had him at corner.
Yeah, well, he only played like 2 games. In fairness.
Exactly.
I mean, he only played like 2 games at corner, and then they put him at safety. But he's good at safety. He's good. TD, I'm trying to bring you positivity, TD. You should really get it.
He's solid. He's a solid player. I'm not sitting here making it seem like
he's really good.
Yeah, come on, man.
I'm not even.
All right.
I'm telling you, get ahead of this with TD. Tell the people in your chat. Let them know, like, this guy's be really good because when he is,
gonna be
you're
really
gonna look
good.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? It's such a random player for you to attach yourself to.
Well, he was with us, and like we loved him. I got 2 signed iffy pictures. First off, he sealed the division. It's over here. I got the signed picture of him over there. Then I got one over here of him. Actually, the one you can't see. But either way, if he was that dude for us, like we ended up getting a jersey. He actually he sent me like a video at one point. If he was a dog, he was really good, man. It just didn't work out here. Couldn't pay him.
Couldn't pay him. You know
what are we gonna do? We got 2 really good safeties.
You know how much we paid him and y'all couldn't pay him?
Well, here's the thing though, TD. Here's where I look at it. He's going there to start. He would have signed back here to be a backup. You got to get your chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
My bad, Richie. I just had to, because I always listen to it. I'm like, TD, you're not talking about him. He's going to be good.
Okay.
Well, it seems like you know more about the Miami Dolphins than he does.
I take your word for it. Yeah.
Trying to bring some positivity.
I'm just saying the secondary getting cooked right now in OTAs.
Just wait till you verse our receivers.
What receivers, Richie?
We only need one, baby, and his name's Garrett Wilson. Who's about to take over the league this year. That's who.
Ain't got no receivers.
Who torched Jalen Ramsey last year.
You ain't got nothing but one player.
Garrett Wilson have a better season than Waddle and Hill combined.
Oh my gosh, Richie is delusional, but that's all right. You're gonna learn.
Garrett Wilson's better than Jalen Waddle.
I'm more interested in Ashton Davis. Do we have something?
No, TD. See, this is where you're missing. Let Richie tell you. Ashton Davis is a good player. He's a good player. We give him a scale 1 to 10. Would you give him a 6?
Less than that.
All right, there you go. If he's a 9 out of 10,
he's a special teams guy and comes out in certain packages. When he starts as a free safety, he's pretty much a liability.
I'm telling you, Rich, you looking at the wrong guy, bro.
He's good for packages, though. He's good to come in certain dime looks and dollar looks, and then he makes plays. But if he's on the field every snap, good luck.
That's not great. He's on the field though. Hey, he's good unless he gets on the field.
But hey, special teams, he's a dog. You know, special teams is nice.
There you go.
This ain't going well.
See, the best blitzing safety in football, if you Melifonwu. People say that. People used to say that.
Best what?
Man.
Blitzing safety.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning into this edition of 4th and Forever, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. It was a pleasure to have Troy on here filling in for Dan Mitchell. TD, anything you want to say to the people before we wrap things up?
Yeah, as always, thanks so much for tuning in. This was fun. A little bit delusional, but fun. But yeah, man, we'll see. Hopefully we can have Dion back sooner rather than later. But yeah, Dan, hopefully you get back soon as well. Be safe in travels, and thank y'all for tuning in. I think we're back live again on Monday to bring you the latest.
And Cap for Life says something I agree with, actually. Richie, your defense is going to take a step backwards to move forward. This is aligned with what I'm saying about the Jets. I think it's going to get ugly before it gets pretty. I'm not expecting this team to come out of the jump and be dominant. I'm expecting there to be a struggle for them to learn from and get on the other side better versions of themselves. It's going to be some adversity, like he says, this season, but they could finish second in division, possibly wild card, says Pez, a Buffalo Bills fan. Look at that. Look at that. All right, what do we got here? What's this?
TD, come on, man. You ever look at that? That's him in 2023.
Gosh, how many games?
A lot of games. 400 snaps.
Okay, that's solid. That's solid.
It's pretty good.
All right,
Look
man.
at that pass rush grade.
We might be going to the Super Bowl then. Okay.
Yeah, oh, man.
We might be going to the Super Bowl.
You might. Probably not.
He can be the game changer. We'll see, man. For some reason, every time the Dolphins get something that ain't elite but promising, they just come and just downgrade their whole stock.
You guys are too much to handle. Troy, anything you want to say on your way out, man?
No, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad like the time worked out that it was able to make it happen. It's fun, man. It feels like special to be on here. It's like I'm jumping onto like a show I'd watch on like ABC or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching that show and they're like, "Yo, you should call in." All right, man, I'll call in. So here we are.
Nice.
You're calling into this show as a guest.
Yeah, it's fancy. It's fancy, man.
That's pretty dope.
It's fancy, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, appreciate everybody tuning in. Much love to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We're off on Fridays, so we'll see you on Monday. All right, as mini camp starts for some people and all that fun stuff. We'll see you then. Peace out.